Hello, everybody. Welcome to YouTube live stream. Yeah, nice to see you. Nice. So today's talk is called How to Practice Non-Duality Throughout the Day. How to practice non-duality throughout the day. So that is the question that people want to know the answer to. Oops, I got my earring stuck on my microphone. They're both free now. So that is the question, how to practice non-duality throughout the day. I mean, it's just not possible. Who would practice non-duality throughout the day? So yeah, for the new people to this channel, I might just seem like a raving lunatic sitting here in silence and then laughing about the question. So let's get a bit more basic, like in terms of explanation. So rather than just going for the absolute answer that there is nobody, we'll just explain a bit more what non-duality is for, the new people or also for the people that have been practicing for a long time but just love hearing that explanation. So there is this effortless watching that's happening, this empty looking that is looking through all bodies, this experiencing. Could call it big consciousness or awareness. But it's not entangled at all with any of the personal qualities. It's beyond that. So there is a watching that's happening, an experiencing. And most people think that the experiencing and the person are one and the same thing. So the consciousness, the big consciousness or awareness, and the person, the character, are the same thing. The person is conscious. So you are conscious. The body-mind belongs to you, and you're some form of entity that lives inside the body-mind, or maybe you believe that you're just the body-mind. And you are conscious, and that entity, some teachers call it the ego, yaks away like it has a good old chat about everything. And at some point, I just got distracted because I just realized that the internet's on the wrong thing. So for those in Zoom, I'm just going to try and set it. And you might have to come back in. I apologize about that. Let's see whether the friends are still there in Zoom. Oh, you're all still there. Great. Okay. I have to go back to the talk. I forgot where I was. Yeah, so this ego like chats away, and it's like claiming everything. It's claiming doership. It's claiming your bank balance. It's claiming your lava lamp, your body, your hair, your earrings, your teeth even. People even think that they're their teeth. Your nose, the size of your nose, like I'm someone with a big nose. The ego is claiming everything. I'm walking along the pavement. I own this bit of land. This is my floor. This is my ground. That is the government's ground. That is the neighbor's ground. This is my computer. And this ego is claiming, and it's also like rejecting and moaning about things. Government doesn't do a good enough job. Why is it bad weather? My neighbor is so annoying. Every time I sit outside, they get their whippersnipper. Like, the ego is, claiming everything, and it's always retelling the story of you. And you don't even notice, because you, who you are as the watcher, the watching, you don't notice that the ego is telling a story about you again and again and again. It's constantly replaying like where you've been, what you've done, and where you're going to go. Like on and on, every moment, like, and this is this, and this is that, and da 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 da, and where have I just come from? So I used to have this most amazingly beautiful dog living with me called Khaleesi. And we traveled around a lot together. And I know that she didn't have this voice in her head because she didn't have complex thinking. So when we used to go to places, to her, she was in the middle of nowhere. You know, we'd go to a hotel and I'd be like, oh, we're in Paris and yeah, and we're in a hotel for the night, Khaleesi, and we have to leave at 7 a.m. and get a boat. And here's your chicken. Yeah, and I'm just going to walk you around. There was no story that she understood. So when we arrived at this place, she was where she's always been, suspended in the middle of nowhere. She's not come from a place and she's not going to a place. Whereas us as humans, we're always telling the story, you know, like I just said, we're in Paris, we're in this place, and this is happening. And we've evolved these minds in order to have complex thinking so that we can function in this complex society together. But we got lost in this complex thinking. And the mind is always retelling the story of you. And it's always claiming everything. It's seeking and claiming everything. It's seeking to get things and seeking to avoid bad things. So it's seeking to get good things and seeking to avoid bad things. And it's going round and round and round in this dance. And because that mind is your judge, there's nothing left of you to judge that rationally. So you can split yourself in two and you can have like a more stable part of the ego and you can have the spiritual ego, but it's all still the ego, it's all still thoughts. So there's no ability to be able to judge it. You can judge it in its comparison to itself. But in that world, it's all thought, all stories and sensations and this energy of claiming everything. It's like getting it's like made of lycra and it's like trying to get as many things as possible. That's why people get so sick and ill because, you know, as a kid, you're walking around and you're like pretty naked and empty and there's not much. And then everywhere you go, you stick things on. And by the time you're 90, you've got so much stuck onto you. You're just like, and everything's really heavy. And you long for that lightness of child, that emptiness of childhood. So so back to the subject of that person practicing non-duality throughout the day. It can't practice non-duality because non-duality is that which witnesses the dance of the ego. So anything the ego does is being watched by whom? By whom? Who is experiencing that dance of you? The one that's like yibba yibba yibba, yibba yibba yibba, mine, 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 mine. Remember in Finding Nemo, I think it was, like the seagulls are like, mine, mine, mine. That was the film. This is what the ego is like, and it's who is watching that? Who is watching that person, that voice? That voice isn't who you are. So, yeah, it's crazy because who could possibly practice that and who am I speaking to now? My true teaching is in silence. So satsang, the meaning of satsang is meeting in truth. So the true teaching is in silence. So satsang is meeting in truth. So my true teaching is silence. absolute silence. Because anything I say is objective or subjective. Whatever I say is not a fact, is not a truth. So therefore the only true teaching could be silence. That recognition of nothing, experiencing nothing. As stillness meeting stillness, or emptiness meeting emptiness. However, now we get to the however disclaimer part. Wisdom is to calm down the ego. That I would suggest is wisdom. So it's like preparing the soil, and you calm down the ego, you stop it from being so crazy. Not divinely crazy. Like divinely crazy in Sufism, this is, spoken about in high regard to be divinely mad. But crazy in this angry, hateful, suffering way. So you want to calm that down. In India and in the East, it tends to be a lot more focus on calming down the mind by doing things like breath work, body work, yoga, seva, like service. On the West, there's a lot more on analysis. There's this really funny talk with Sadhguru, and Sadhguru, he said, in India we don't do analysis. That's a Western thing. Or maybe he said that's a white, no, I don't think he would have said a white person thing, but a Western thing. Yeah, we don't do it because they come from the premise that if you settle the body down, it settles the mind down. So you don't need to analyze it. Whereas in the West, we do like to do everything from the mind and from the intellect. And I think that there is room for that. Having a good conceptualization of your dynamics and your illusions. Yeah, so this is the preparation to calm the ego down. And then what also the person can do is putting the attention in the personal consciousness. So putting the attention in itself. But that's still the personal consciousness. That's not the big consciousness. You can never put attention in the big consciousness, because the big consciousness is aware of the little consciousness. So what that means is resting in the attention. So you can put your attention on the knee, on your nose. So rather than being lost in thought, you're resting it in attention. It's a very intelligent practice, because when you begin to do it, it stops being someone doing it, because it's your natural resting place. So in a way, this practice is like a practiceless practice. It's very intelligent, because when there's real resting in attention, then there is this going further and further back to the big consciousness. But it's nobody's effort. This can also be done with the feeling of the I am. And again, when it's really done properly, it's nobody resting in the I am, because you can't rest in the I am in a way. Like you is movement, you is the noise, you is the time and space. So you put your attention there, and then what happens is the you disappears. The you falls away. Yeah, I know it can all sound very contradictory, but this is the path that millions and millions have trod. So, wisdom, you work on the body-mind mechanism, you stop the ego being so crazy, and then you put the attention in the consciousness or in the feeling of I am, in beingness. And that, in the end, isn't really a practice. It feels like you're doing it, you are moving the attention, but then who is there? And you really rest in the consciousness and the I am, the you begins to disappear, and it's like the gateless gateway back to the infinite. But it's not really you practicing because you don't exist there. That sounds like such a contradiction. Who are you? And even the you that feels like it's practicing is an illusion anyway. Where do those thoughts come from? Where does doership come from? It feels like it's you. You tell yourself it's you, but they're spontaneously appearing from where? That's the mystery. That is divinity. From where do they arise? So to back to the title, just let me remind myself of what it is. How to practice non-duality throughout the day. So my advice would be to settle down the thinking mind. There's so many Indian practices to help you settle down. Pick a couple which suit you and stick with it. You can look on my website. You can find these bodywork practices, these body workers. There's so much there. Then stick with it. So settle down the craziness. Doesn't take long to settle down the craziness if you stick with it, the practices. And then keep putting the attention back in the personal consciousness and the feeling of I am. And then lastly, knowing that that's not somebody doing something. Keep questioning the thoughts, because who are you? Who is the doer of every act? And then lastly, to sum up again, nobody could practice non-duality to get to non-duality. Nobody could do that because there is nobody. So nobody could practice non-duality throughout the day. Because who are you? There is just this, just what's happening. There is nobody separate from everything that is appearing. This really is loss of who you believe yourself to be, not loss of the character, but loss of who you believe yourself to be, this energy of attachment, this energy of seeking. And then your true self seeps back into everything, and then it's the end of this divided life, a separate life, a separate mind. There is just one. There is still a character appearing and disappearing, but it's no longer who you are. Who you are is this experiencing, which isn't separate from the objects. The subject and the objects become the same thing. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, to friends in Zoom, if you've got any questions, please raise your hand. And if you want to write your question in Zoom, then you do that by either putting it in the Zoom chat. You can do it to me individually, or you can do it to everybody, or you can put it in Telegram, and I'll go from speaking question to written question. Speaking to written question. If you feel brave with the written question, you can let me know it's you, and then when I answer, I'll pin you and then look into your eyes when I answer. But you don't have to do that as well. Okay. Yeah, Isabel, please unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey. Yes, I had today I heard in the morning. Wait, maybe again it's my washing machine. Always if I'm on talking to you, I have a washing machine. I hope it's okay.
I can't hear it.
Okay. I heard your snippet, your little YouTube video. What was new today, I think. Wasn't
Yes,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
no, yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. And it was about some kind of heaviness, and I was a little afraid when you started. It was felt a little heavy for me, like, okay, now today is something like the hardest day or situation. Maybe I misunderstood, but somehow. And then I felt because I'm always so afraid of I'm so good in life. And then I was so much triggered in this thing of, yes, but you are not proved already and you have to give away everything. And you are something, yeah, it's a little bit like this voice. But maybe my question is about this. Then you were saying something about that you with a karma, the thing that sometimes you're not with the flow, or the person Lisa, or however a person, and if okay, I can tell that how I understood. It's just I understood if I am not on the flow, what my inner being wants, more or less, and then I produce karma, and it's more heavy, maybe. So, and then I was not so satisfied with it, because I know that you would say now, or I know that everything is nothing and everything is not important, or is just meant to be, or can't be different, and is da-da-dum. But I have, as you know, a lot of topics with this inner voice thing, and I feel that I'm not very often in the flow of life. Like, and sometimes, and then I love it so much. For example, today I thought of going to India, and then it felt so, yes, for sure, I go. Yes, and I always wanted, and then was so, yes. Sometimes I have this flow feeling, but often I really don't know, and I'm just lying in my bed, and I'm not doing sport, and I'm not eating so well, and I'm just just being in the dark, and I feel like a little fat potatoes laying around, and I just like, I can't do all the things I know what would be so good. And then I feel like I see the flow, the flow of life, and people doing yoga and drinking all the time hot water and getting the visions and rah, and here and then the phone call, and yes, and the travel, and yeah. Now it's your turn. I know, because
Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah, I understand.
but I really wanted to ask how, well, yeah, so
Yeah,
flow.
I get a sense of it. Yeah, I might not say something for a moment Just wait for the flow to come. I get the sense that so everybody is so different that I work with and speak with, and I get the sense with you, these types of teachings when I do that they're really not suitable for you, like they just don't suit you, they're not for you, and so you can just ignore it. Really from every teacher that you take a gem. Like I don't have like a fixed teaching, and that isn't truth, what I said. That's a perspective. And and that might sound like really contradictory to people, and often people like one teaching that is linear and works for everybody. But in the end these are all thoughts, and what we are is that empty looking that's looking out. And so for you, I feel like focusing on more who you are and not these thoughts about karma and being in flow. Because I think that if you talk about being in flow, then there is some difficult energies that come up, and you can look at that sometimes, but most of the time it's not like I would avoid them, but I wouldn't touch them too much, because they're like a vortex. Like you go in there and then you get stuck in these like negative energies, and then this kind of disturbs the body, and then the body being disturbed sort of encourages them. And thoughts are just thoughts, and those were just stories that I were telling from a certain perspective. And you can just drop it and focus more on like I am and empty looking. There's certain characters that I just know that these types of words just don't work for. But then there's other characters that these types of things really resonate for. And in the end, eventually, there will just be flow happening. But don't focus too much on it, because then you'll focus on what you're doing wrong, and that you're not drinking the green smoothies and doing the yoga. And that's just distraction. Like it's not about comparison. Like you can be free, and you can be eating the worst types of food. Don't get fixated on that. These things can settle down the mind, because the body and the mind are connected, but they're not a necessity. So it's more like the I am, the empty looking, and then this presenting yourself to non-duality. Like I feel that really resonates for you, when you listen to non-duality, and then when the flow takes over, and like going to India and looking at these different I've forgotten what that's called, karma puncture places. I never know if I get that word right. If that happens, like let that flow happen. But then if the flow isn't there, then it's just keep coming back to what's happening. So Roger, my teacher, he was very much, speaking to me about like in every given moment, you've got to do what you feel like doing. But that didn't trigger me into making me feel bad. Like, so that was a very like a teaching that worked for me. But it doesn't mean that works for everybody. And if it doesn't, like just push it away and then focus on what does. There could be other teachings that he most probably would teach, and they made me feel rotten and something, but he maybe didn't do that, so I didn't really experience them. like if he was going on about like you've got to have a pristine intellect. Actually, he did used to say that sometimes, and then he was like, you got to have a pristine intellect and understand all the concepts, and that was not a possibility for me because my mind is like a bit hubbly jubbly, and the way it works, it gets a bit confuddled easily. And some teachers teach that you've got to have supreme intellect, like clarity of intellect, and so just don't go there. Just go with what flows, and you can explore with a teacher, or you could explore with someone the seeking patterns that arise in you when somebody says something like that. But I wouldn't do it by yourself, because by yourself you're mostly just beating yourself up and telling yourself what you've done wrong, and that's not true. There's so many amazing qualities about Isabel. Like, there's so much that you can do and that you have done and you have achieved. And yeah, so
Yes.
more just focusing on I am, looking, the empty looking, and then satsang.
Yes, and yeah. And I think I am now, I recognize I'm always inside of me is this little kid or baby that wants to, like, Lisa, tell me everything is okay. Tell me everything is
Yeah.
okay. Tell me everything is okay. Tell me everything is okay. Tell me everything. Like, and yeah, now, all the time.
Yeah.
And coming, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and when you
I
have
hear it.
space, yeah, and then when you have space and time, you can really explore that. But just not in the sense where it lets you like get lost in like this confusion or this energy of like you've done something wrong or you don't know what to do or like that confusion. And this is sometimes the problem with Westerners, is that we get lost in analysis, of ourselves, and it becomes very heavy. Yeah. And you are okay. You're always in yourself, even when you're dreaming that you're not.
Yeah.
Came through the other Isabel, the words. Yeah, thanks, Isabel. Yeah. Okay, I just have to visit the ladies. Excuse me. Oh. Okay, so let's see if there's any written questions. Seeking and claiming on the melody of wishing and hoping of dusty Springfield. Who is experiencing this? Who is watching? Yes, Ramona. Who is experiencing this and who is watching? That is the question. And that's the freedom. It's nothing to do with the person. It feels like such an impersonal affair waking up, but it's so impersonal. You're moving energetically from being this imagined person to what you've always been, which is pure consciousness or awareness. This empty looking and this beingness, this life. So the pure consciousness or awareness isn't separate from the being. It is the being. So it's being and non-being. It's nothing and everything. You know, so when you say the pure awareness, you can't stop there because pure awareness isn't, if it's pure awareness, it's non-separate. So it's not separate from anything that it experiences. There's no separation. So then it's also that pure awareness is also the beingness, the being, the physical appearances, and not the beingness. Nothing and everything. No thing and everything. This is what you are. But not you as an ego. The mind is always like, oh, this is what I am. Here's my flag to put into something. But who? Who? Who?
Who let the dogs out?
Da, 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 da. I felt to do that, and then Ramona came on and did the voice in a much more harmonious way than I could.
Sorry to interrupt your speech.
Perfect. No, perfect. Because then I get to look at you. I forgot that you were here. There, I can pin you. There's nothing looking at nothing now. Isn't that phenomenal? Like there's not a Ramona looking at Lisa. There is one energy, and your headphones and your hat and your eyes and your skin and the light behind you, which is interesting lighting. Like you're glowing. Like
Oh, oh. Yeah.
You know, there's no separation. There's nothing that's aware of that. So then I am that. And the same this way. So awareness is looking from these seemingly two angles. Like, so you're looking and you're not separate from my voice, from my eyes. This is the love affair, you know, you fall into each other, you know, falling in love. Why do we call it falling in love? We're like falling into each other.
It's so funny because you're looking the other way also. Like you're looking here. I keep disturbing your like this. Oh, yeah.
I made you bigger, so I might be more centralized now. In my
Are you
looking.
looking? Are you looking like this?
I'm
Like
looking.
someone that's. It's like someone that's looking at your boobs instead of your
Ah,
eyes.
ah. Yeah, if I was a
Oh,
male teacher, we might have to adjust this kind of like the setup.
oh.
Where does he think he's looking?
Oh, I'm in a goofy mood, so I'm disrupting your disturbing. Oh.
It's perfect.
I feel like you're going on some like beautiful flow, and then I go, no, I don't know.
Who let Who let the
Yeah, let
dogs
the
out?
dogs out. Yeah.
It wasn't even an angelic song. It was "Who let the dogs out,"
Yeah.
which is like quite a horrific song when you listen to the words.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I can't grasp that there's no one, or I can. I don't know if I can grasp that. It's like when you say that these are, I cannot really listen to the words when you say that because then it goes like it goes a little bit like into a puzzle. So I just listen to your voice and then something seems to
Happen,
clear.
yeah, yeah. I can feel that when we speak. Like there's
But it's
this deeper
but the
listening.
yeah. And then at the same time there is this um yeah, this is this attraction of 10 years of keep listening and something resonating, and then there's also the one that goes like, oh, it's like 10 years, like you go, come on, or like
Yeah,
what do
but
what I have to what do I have to get here, or
yeah,
you wanna, you know.
but you know, like what Tony says is, you know, if you leave the room, like taking anything that I say with you, then you've missed the point. So in
Mm,
this experience, in this conversation, there is something that's listening not in time, and that is coming forward. And the reason that's coming forward is because the you is fading, the you is stepping out of the way, and that comes forward and is shining through. And that is huge. Resonance is huge. Because when you're resonating with something, it's like with this, it means that you deeply know it in yourself.
mm,
But it's just that during the day-to-day life, you get distracted by what's on the screen and then you get involved in it. And
mm,
that's happening less and less.
mm.
You might not think it, but I think that like over the years that I've known you, there's like less and less involvement in Ramona and more like,
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to ask. No, I let this one sink in. I can feel it.
mm. I mean, resonance is the most important part of any teacher that's teaching this. You know, Ramana, he used to say, or he said, or the translation says he said, that, you know, the words are for those that can't hear the silence.
Mm. Yeah. Mm. That's beautiful. seems like an sort of I don't know. I just feel like something's coming, or I don't know. I can really literally feel it here in my heart or in my chest, like, and it's like a longing and wanting to get out. That's why I didn't ask the question before. It was like, oh no, I can feel that I wanna, yeah, sort of a,
The more that the more that there's resting in self, or the self becoming apparent, the more that it becomes so evident, that energy that's trying to move away.
mm,
It becomes so obvious. It doesn't mean that you have to do anything about that. It's just the noticing of it. It becomes less and less favorable to move away. Before, when you
yeah,
start this subject, you're like, okay, let's move away. And then you, not because you've learnt it from someone, but because you really begin to recognize that that isn't the answer. That doesn't work, moving away.
yeah. It's like sort of a nowhere to go. Mm, but both, like, yeah, it's, yeah, both. I think the previous question might be irrelevant anyway. That I wanted to ask something about um, therapy and practice being very uh, close to each other, because I never really practiced anything consciously, but it really touches upon things that I practiced in therapy, like what is really going on right now, to sort of see the thoughts, see what is the trigger behind the thought, and then sort of unravel what is really,
Yeah.
that is mostly it's something from the past that you still believe, or and then it's like what is really going on right here, right
Yeah.
now. And then this, yeah,
It depends a little bit on the therapist.
yeah,
So to me, I'm a massive fan of somatic therapy, which includes that, what you're talking about, where it's like you're trying to look at what you're actually feeling
mm,
rather than what you're thinking. And I don't know if all therapists do that, but really like paying attention to what's actually happening in the body, what's happening in the environment, not just what's happening
in the
in
head,
the
yeah,
mind. Yeah.
yeah,
And that is, I think, a really phenomenal practice, because as you begin to get to the body and the feelings,
mm-hmm,
like you're beginning to drop time more and more. You're getting more still, and then there's this kind of practice without being directly told it, of watching, of examining, of stepping back, but also really embracing. So you're stepping back out of the drama, but at the same time, you're really embracing all the energies of the character, of the body mind. You're not ignoring them.
yeah. It's weird. Like I seem to know what you're on about, but when you speak about the I am, or that I really I don't know what you're on about, but this like it seems like it doesn't matter.
No, it
Maybe
doesn't.
even.
It's something else that's the important part.
Yeah. There it comes again. Uh, yes. Oh dear God. God's dream, you said last time.
Yeah. God is like the most closest thing to you. Like closer to you than the ego. Closer to you than anything about Ramona, the thoughts of Ramona, what she's done, her skills, her lack of skills, her everything. He's got it, that is the most closest thing there. You know it so deeply and intimately because you are it. But there's this getting lost in imagination. So close, right here.
It's like this sort of innocence, and then there's this like you can't wrap my head around. And then there's just me looking at a computer, and yeah, I don't know, like where
And the pixels on the screen makes this
yeah,
apparent character that's looking back at
yeah.
you. Yeah, crazy.
Do you
It's
know
all
that
so weird.
you used to do that? Do you know that you would have a picture, you would have zoom up a picture, and then you would like take the picture of your mom or your dad, and you would take it, and then you forgot that you were in a zoom looking at the picture like this. Do you know? It's so funny. Or then the dog would come in and you would start petting the dog, and you were just you forgot that you were in a Zoom or something. It was so funny.
Well, I'm
Totally
totally
absurd.
forgetting it now when I'm looking at you as well, but just nobody notices because they think that they have all types of stories that's happening, but I'm sitting here and nothing's happening. So it's just like,
Ugh.
I have no idea that I'm in a Zoom or that there's these other faces looking. There's just Ramona. Not even Ramona. I mean, I would, before when I was identified, I would have been embarrassed of Lisa being like she is. She would have been embarrassment to me. You know, being the one that sits at the front and does all the speaking, I'd have been like, oh, with shame.
Yeah.
I do, but now, like, because that doesn't, that
Yeah.
character's not there, then it's like I can just be the fool. I can just be like, sit there gazing at you, drool coming out of my mouth, and my fly's undone, my zipper undone. I don't know what you call it in the different languages.
Would you say shame is gone?
Yeah. Like I don't feel ashamed of Lisa. I mean, sometimes I get momentary embarrassment, you know, when I'm sitting there for ages and then there's a big booger on my nose or something. I think you've actually told me that before in a talk.
There would be something for me to tell you. I don't know.
But then maybe it wasn't you, but I've had people tell me that before. That maybe is why you obsessively see me like this, because I do get runny nose and runny eyes when I do talks. And so I think people have told me in the past before. So there's momentary embarrassment, but there's not like this. I wouldn't have been able to do this before. I'd have been embarrassed, you know. I'd have watched the videos and been like, "Oh God," why? You know, like what is now? It's just like I'm a fool and I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not even I don't care. It's not that I've trained
Yeah.
Lisa not to care. It's just that there's nothing here, you know. It's like the thoughts and the images come up, and sometimes there's old karmas or old seeking energies that come up, but most of the time it's like, oh.
Mm. Yeah, I think before I didn't want to have my name exposed, and I didn't want to come online really. I think because I would be afraid to be confronted with my bullshit. And now I'm really looking forward.
Mm. To the shame of it,
Sorry?
to the embarrassment of it, or to whatever comes
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it becomes like all obstacles, all difficulties become like a, you know, like a way to go deeper. So they become like a joy or a, even though they're painful, it's like, thank you for exposing what's not true.
I think yeah, it now it's like a redirecting. So I can every time I speak almost it's like I'm taking it, and then whatever your answer is, it's like I don't know the words, but I feel caught, and then it's again this like I don't know. I maybe I'm not making sense now, but yeah. dum dum da 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 dum 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 dum. We're on a road to nowhere. Yeah, da da da. So I'm so.
You're joining the full club.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you, Ramona. Yeah,
Nice to
lots of
see
love.
you.
Yeah,
Love you, love you.
yeah,
Thank you
love
so
you.
much.
Okay. And yeah, now we can have random seed. I just check all the technical stuff while I've been missing in action. See if it's all still going. What we're doing. We got the Zoom people. We got the streaming. Yeah, all seems to be working. And now we got random seed asking a question.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Let me-
If you put your camera, yeah, that's it. If you put your
Yeah.
camera down a little, then I'll look more in your eyes. You know, if you're right, but you've done it.
Okay.
No,
Wait,
no,
wait,
the other way. That was it. You did it. You sat up, but you were right down there at the beginning.
wait. I will
Perfect.
move my desk up a bit.
No, down, down, down.
Down, down, down. Okay. I actually forgot the question, you know.
Yeah, because we've just been speaking for so long.
No, it was something about your. I remembered to recall from your previous talks, and it was something about this guy named Papa G you have mentioned.
Yeah, Papa G.
Papa G, and there was his student Gaganji, the lady.
Yeah, Gangamera.
Gang, yeah, from United States, I think.
No, she's from Belgium.
Ah, didn't know that.
She lives in Portugal.
Ah, and yeah, and so wait, I'm getting my thoughts together again.
She's an amazing woman, you know, Gangamera. You know, the way that she met Papaji was I think she was 19 years old, and yeah, I just am suddenly feeling not sureness to one moment to complete the story. Yeah, so she was 19 years old, but it was a different time then. I don't know now if a woman did this, it would be advisable. But at 19 years old, she hitchhiked all the way from Belgium to India. And then she stayed meditating by the Ganga in Rishikesh, waiting for her teacher. I mean, there's a lot more to the story there, but there's this just waiting. And then the locals respected her so much that she did this, that they all began to feed her. So she didn't have any money, or so they would put food by her while she was meditating. And then eventually Papaji came, and she wanted to be with him, follow him, you know, like, and he said, no, but, and then she had to wait another 8 months or something. And then, yeah, she was, it's a long story, but just a really like amazing one. Like, she's really amazing woman, Gangamera. Like, if you want to look her up, Gangamera. So it's like river. I don't know what Mira means. Forgotten. Someone else can tell us in the chat.
Yes, I don't know why I mentioned her, but it was actually about what Papaji tends to say, and often on his videos, he's like, stop it, and you've mentioned it before, like
Stop. Yeah.
his advice was, oh, just stop it.
Oh, hang on. You know what? You know, we're talking about different people. So that's Gangaji that he said too. So Gangamera's his like
okay, but
one student. He's his first student, and Gangaji, who he said, I mean, there's lots of Gangas, you know, they love the Ganga, the river Ganga. And so then there's Gangaji, which is American. Yes, you're right. She's American. and she's from the South America, and she's got a beautiful voice. South America, the South of America, not South America. And he said to her, "Just stop it, stop
Yeah,
it."
yeah, yeah.
And it took years for that to like sink in what he meant by that.
Ah. Yeah, and that was my question. I'm trying to recall. It was something about, like this radical approach to non-duality. Oh, just stop it, and and these successful figures of non-duality or other traditions, like most of them, they don't just stop it. They did this hardcore meditative works before. Like, so my question was like, what I'm trying to ask is about the conditions probably they need to meet in the right point. Like, so it's not enough to just stop or just do nothing. But one needs to either be like, oh fuck it, disappointed or tired of seeking, or be kind of skillful enough in samadhi or meditative states to just get it. This stop it would work on such people because it's like for me it's like a lotto game, like
A what game?
lotto or other like games you choose numbers and then you can win. So statistically, one person
Lottery game. Yeah.
lottery
Yeah.
games, yeah.
Lotto. Yeah.
So like statistically, one person out of a couple of millions gets the fortune to win. Yet everyone thinks it's so. For me, it's very similar to that. Like and I'm trying to not make that mistake, thinking, "Oh, just stop it," but without prior, because all those people like Gaganji, yeah,
Gangaji. Yeah.
Gangaji, sorry, they did their work before. They did some like Vipassana retreats or other things, and my hypothesis, they are either tired of seeking, like they see, okay, I've got this kaleidoscopic states and still, or they are skilled enough. So when they hear, just stop it, it's like, it's like the last frontier of the identity. Boom. Yeah, and yeah. So yeah.
Well, I have a no opinion on that.
That's wow.
And we're being corrected.
That's
It
what I
wasn't
needed.
stop. It wasn't stop it just to like. It was just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. It's like
Just stop.
the conversation
without
about
even it.
it.
Yeah.
Just stop.
More radical
Because there's
than
no
that.
it. Yeah. We just got stop. Eventually, the teachings would just be shh, just the S. That's an S, not a T. That sounds like a T to some, but just the S. Maybe. Yeah, and then so my no opinion on that is that
No, I don't know. But who?
We say that a lot in England. You know. I don't know if that's such an American thing. Do you say something like that? Is it in Polish, your native tongue?
Yeah. In Polish we say wiesz co, like we assume someone knows. That's a big lie of society. Like everyone says that, but no one knows.
Yeah. And everyone goes. Okay. So yeah, my no opinion on that is that so there's two different things that are happening. There is the working on the person, and working on the person is wisdom. And then there's the recognition of the stop. and the stop is not the person. The person cannot stop. The person is in movement. So there's these two different things. And most people work on the person beforehand. And if they tell the story that they didn't work on the person in this life, they most probably have had previous lives where there's been this energetic working on things. But then when you come to the story of the lottery, that it's just not like that life, because everything in life is the pure consciousness. So there cannot be people that are left out from this. There just seems to be people that are going around the mountain for a longer amount of time. But then the ones that have been around a longer amount of time, when they're done, the ones that are still going around the mountain will have that feeling as well. Like everyone arrives here because everyone is this. So this idea that, there's some people that are more lucky and more fortunate than others, this isn't true. Like this energy is all one energy. It's all ourself looking out. And then in the dream, there's these bundles of energy that get lost for a certain period of time. And then at some time, there is the waking up again. Like it can't remain lost forever. And then, but in the story, you feel like some are more lucky, but who are more lucky in the end? It's all you. And what is time? Like, so your life, so say if you've been alive like 30 years, like what is that time right now? I'm being generous. It might be a little bit more than 30 years.
I think I'm older than you.
You're older than me, yeah. We both look incredibly young, so we'll say 30, 31.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what is time?
Yeah, where is these 31 years of life?
In my thoughts,
In your thoughts?
like right now, because
Yeah.
they attend to this concept of past. When you mentioned
Yeah.
years, my attention was like, taken away and went there. So for me, the left side usually is the past. I always wondered whether in Asia they tend to imagine past like upwards, how they read, whether it's a
yeah.
correlation or not. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
So for me, it was like past. Okay, there, this little shelf in my head, the
Yeah.
thought about past. Of course, it generates emotion like the current happenings, but it's a thought. Yeah.
And another way you can look at it is that your dream at night. So in your dream at night, like if you're having a dream about awakening and you're like in a retreat with all these other people, like, and then one person wakes up in your dream at night, are they the lucky one in your dream? Are they the one that's won the lotto? Like, you can always compare it to the dream at night and waking up in the dream at night. So if you're in your dream at night, like, is there a lucky person in your dream at night? And how is that any different from what's happening now? It's just you think that your dream at night is from random seeds consciousness. A random seed is asleep and then he's creating that, but it's actually happening in the same way. It's just that one's more ethereal and less sensical. But you can imagine it better because you think it comes from your imagination. You're like, okay, there is no lucky one that wakes up in my dream at night because it's all my dream.
Yeah, but it's kind of it when I would really, really penetrate that, it will be, I would feel it's a feeling of being trapped or bored, like, oh, the same. Okay, I'm thinking that's me causing it, but I'm just stamping it after the fact, like second after second. Stamping.
Very important, these feelings that come up like trapped or bored. Like, because, so like you've got, like I said in the past, I suspect you've got a highly creative imagination. Like like when we speak, I get the sense that you've got like a creative,
linguistical a bit. Yeah.
like creative mind. And so therefore, sometimes people with that, they can feel this like trappedness or boredness with the slowness of life, but it's illusion too. It's like you got to really, like, that boredom, that trappedness, like really catch it for what it is. like it's all, that will keep the
Yeah,
movement
that's why
happening,
I'm here on your talks.
because
Like
I'm
this
less
duality is
boring than
new for
all the.
me. Yeah, because it's animated, it's movable. Then it's like you go around people and you feel like one flower. Ah, mhm.
Yeah. So,
But it's
but
completely not my mode, like different modality, you may say. Like I never
yeah,
tried that in my life. That uh, movable, yeah, is that a word in English? Movable
yeah,
thing. Like, and it's like being stabbed here,
yeah,
and then and
yeah,
then it flows. Like you cannot distinguish. Like
yeah,
that's not yourself that's passing you in other people, but it's something like a common root, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like totally disturbing. That's attractive to me. Like it throws me.
Hmm.
Like there is some truth in this, but that's like it's not my style, as you've mentioned. I have this, you may say, attachment to thinking, uh,
Hmm.
creative, analytical thinking. But and this is something like tabula rasa, like totally don't know, and
Hmm.
just flows. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's why I'm that's why I'm logging into your Zoom meetings. I,
Yeah, yeah,
so and that's not boring. That's not feeling of being trapped.
yeah.
When Ramona was talking, I felt something like, oh, I know
Yeah.
what's
See if
ringing
you,
there.
yeah, see if you can look me in the eyes. Like just stay and look me in the eyes. See. If it gets too intense, you can just look away or shut your eyes. I know it's a bit like fake because of the camera angles and stuff, but there is a sense of it that can happen. Just feel the twitchiness or energies that come with that.
Mm.
Yeah, nice.
It's like the whole room is breathing.
Yeah.
So my feeling was like, like this,
Yeah.
like these jellyfishes.
Yeah.
Like,
Everything floating
so
through.
it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, nice to speak with you. Okay, we'll go to a written question. I'm just laughing at all the chat. Oh. Yeah, that's making me cry a bit with laughter. I won't read it out to everyone because it won't make sense to the people in YouTube. Yeah, okay. I just check see if there's any questions on Telegram. No. Okay. Yeah, if anyone has a last question, I'll take one more question. If not, then that is all for today. Yeah, really beautiful to spend this time with you. And it really is the most important part is the silence. I know that it might feel like the important part is the speaking. Like the speaking maybe feels like it alludes to silence, but actually the silence is there all the time. Mm. Okay, so I will say goodbye to YouTube. If you're in Zoom, then you can stay in Zoom and yeah, I will go around and greet everybody individually. But in YouTube, I will turn that off now. And any advertisements. Yes, if you want to join the Zoom meeting, then you can do that by going onto the website and finding out how to join through the live stream page. I tend to do these talks every Sunday. I'm thinking of doing them 1 hour later at 5:30 French time rather than 4:30. But you should see a card on my YouTube channel every week as to what time it will be. And the card on the YouTube channel will also like tell you the time in your time zone. Yeah, and to those that join in Telegram, then you'll get a notification either on Saturday or Friday about when the live stream is. Yeah, okay. So to those in YouTube, I really, really wish you everything. Not 1 or 2 or 3 things, but every God bless thing. Yeah.